Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to speak about a powerful principle that can change your life, accepting yourself. In a world that constantly tells us who we should be, it's easy to lose sight of who we truly are. But true growth, true success begins with self-acceptance. It's about recognizing your strengths and weaknesses, embracing your flaws, and understanding that you are enough just as you are. Today I challenge you to look within, to appreciate the unique individual that you are, and to accept yourself fully and completely. Only then can you unlock your true potential and live a life of authenticity and fulfillment. I've always been really afraid of going to the doctor. I was scared of this. I wasn't scared of that. What made it worse was that you had to watch things that make you afraid. Most people wouldn't remember the movie I saw. Dustin Hoffman played the lead role in this movie. There's a show called The Marathon Man with Laurence Olivier where he tries to get out of writing something. He then got this drill out. I have something to tell you. I had $1 worth of popcorn. When he put that drill in Dustin Hoffman's mouth, the popcorn got everywhere. Did you know that for 5 years I couldn't go to the dentist? I quit radio and TV and went to work for the Ohio Senate. I had an impacted wisdom tooth. That hurts now. I would call, and as soon as someone picked up, I would hang up. I start to feel scared. I was in the office of Dr. Hamler. I'd hang up. After that, I was able to just ask for an appointment. How are you? I wasn't going to give my real name because I knew I wouldn't keep it. Anyone's name would work for me. Jim, Joe, and Jiggly. It didn't matter. I soon got to the point where I could say my name. After about 4 years, I told them my name is Les Ryan. Then I would call back and say, look, I won't be able to make it because I have to work on laws. The woman finally asked on the phone, are you scared? I told them I wasn't. So she asked, why don't you come in? I told them that wasn't my business. She told him, you're scared, so you're not coming in. I wish you wouldn't waste our time. She then hung up. I told them, you have no right to treat people like me that way. To cut a long story short, I was in a lot of pain. I told them, wait a minute, I need to do something. I asked, what am I scared of? Take care of it there. I told you, man. I told Dr. Hamlin, I can't hear this drill. In other words, if you can do anything, I don't. This drill doesn't need to be played. I'm really drawn to this drill sound. Do not use that drill on me. He told her to calm down. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. You learn that things aren't as bad as you thought they were when you face your fears. And when people say, I can't handle it, I can't do it, believe them. Really, 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 it's too much for me. What they think will happen is that they won't be. They're going to leave like you're going to die. Also, guess what? We've all had times when we face our fears. We had to do something that made us feel bad. We didn't want to die, but we did it anyway. They didn't come get us and lock us up. Do I have it right? What do we need to do now? How do we deal with that? How does it work since everything is up here? One is to think of the worst thing that could happen. I picture him putting this drill in my mouth and I just croaked. Then I think that's the worst thing that could happen. Then I used a different method. Picture yourself being able to handle it without any problems. And I used to feel really bad about myself when I had to speak in front of people I thought were better than me because I didn't go to college. People in college used to make me think they were the smartest people in the world, and I had nothing to say to them. What would I do? Why are they going to listen to me? That's how I felt. So I had to picture myself speaking in front of them and other groups that had more going for them than I did. This helped me see how valuable I was and realize that I was a good person even though I didn't have everything going for me. There wasn't enough money for me or time for school like they had. For this reason, you need to believe that you are deserving, capable, and have everything you need to be a valuable person. You also need to believe that you deserve to be heard, to have your dream come true, or to have whatever else you can picture. You need to be able to picture it and believe that you can do it. Please repeat after me. In my mind's eye, I need to see myself facing and getting through my fears. That's right. I can shake the hands of people on both sides and say, you got this. You should ask yourself, what fears am I holding on to? As you look at your life and the future, how am I holding on to fears that are holding me back? These fears are stopping me from getting free, from reaching my full potential, and from being truly happy. I can't feel any adventure or joy in my life because of that. What's stopping me from making my own decisions? If you're afraid of what I said, You should know that we have to give ourselves permission to be afraid and stay still. Because no matter what discomfort, challenge, or trouble you face, you have to deal with it. There's something you have to fight up there. Is it going to be simple? Not at all. Is it going to be hard? Yes. A friend of mine is going through rehab. He's been hooked on crack cocaine and alcohol for years, and he was talking about how hard it was and how much he dreaded going cold turkey. I asked, "What do you want me to say? That there will be a picnic?" It's not, though. It's going to kick you in the behind. It is? Yes. Are you going to wish you were dead? Yes, that's a part of it. You have to go through that to get where you want to go. Also, guess what? You have the strength to do it. You are strong enough to get over this problem. And your life is worth everything you have to do, everything you want to do, and everything you have to do. Is it going to be simple to just do it? Not at all. Will it happen right away? Not at all. Is it going to be hard? Yes. Are you going to have times when you can't pay your bills? That is a part of it. Will you ever not know what to do? Yes. That's a part of it. Are there people who will fight you? Will something go wrong? Sometimes. Murphy will come to see you a lot. If you ask, who is Murphy? Do not worry. There must have been a time when someone told us. I'm not sure where they said it, but life is going to be really easy. Not at all. They lied if they said I had something important to say. I'll never forget that I was working hard to get a certain bill passed. I asked a guy, "Look, can I count on your vote?" Yes. Let me know if I can't count on it. There's another guy who owes me a chip that I can use instead. I won't need your vote, but I do need it. Do what you say you're going to do. You can count on it, he said. Laws were brought up. His vote was against my bill, but it still passed. I went back to him and told him I needed his vote. If he can't give it up, please let me know. I'd get someone else. Why did you tell me? He told me I lied. I was shocked. How many of you felt like life just wore you out? You thought you'd go to school, get good grades, and get a job? Now that you're here, you'll be able to get a job and live happily ever after. You say they lied. They did. That's true. They didn't tell me. Mama told me there would be days like this. Remember that song? Tell us that. Isn't that something that makes life hard? You get some stuff out here. It wasn't in a book. Not anywhere. Then no one told you this was going to happen. That's life. That kind of problem comes up all the time. What's the deal? The next thing is that you have to like yourself. After that, you accept the fear as a fact, not a force. When you accept yourself and your fears as real, they become part of your life and not something that holds you back. Besides the strength you give it, it doesn't have any other power. You agree with the fact that you're scared. After that, you move on. Anyway, you get past it and do what you need to do. I was in the Carolinas at a big gathering for a man named Dexter Yeager. I had to leave the stage from backstage. I was the very last person to speak. It was the first time I'd been to a stadium with over 10,000 people. There were so many bright lights in your eyes that you couldn't see anyone. It was called Free Enterprise Day. I was scared. My heart was beating quickly. "Are you all right?" Dexter asked me as I paced back and forth. I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." I told them to wait a minute. "Don't worry, relax. Wait a minute. Please hold me. Les, don't worry. It's okay. Be as scared as you can be. That's why I say to face your fears. Check out how scared you can get and start taking deeper breaths." The guy then asked, "Are you going to die in some way?" I told them I was fine, but once I started to accept it and try to be as scared as possible, I thought, what's the worst thing I could do next? They kept giving me my check while my mind went blank. I passed out on stage. I began to talk to myself when I began to laugh at myself. I asked, "Are you scared today?" I told them, "You have to do what you need to do." I just calmed down and went outside and cooked. There was another time when I was at a big company, and it was going to be one of my first big speeches. As a presenter for this company, I had 4 other people there from large companies. One of the things you need to do is pay attention to what you're saying to yourself and train your mind and thoughts. If you don't, your mind will go on a crazy trip. My mind told me, "Hey, Les," and I asked, "What?" "You're going to die because of these guys. They are too good for you to beat." Because I could hear these guys sitting across from me, talking about all the good things about themselves. So I started to doubt myself. I got scared and I thought, maybe I shouldn't go in there after all. I knew then, and I tell you this, you need to talk to yourself every once in a while. You know, talking to yourself might be good for you. It could be the only smart talk you ever have. I got up and went to the bathroom. I spoke to myself and said, Les Brown, let me tell you something. Why do you care about these guys and their businesses? You need to feed your 6 kids. You need to take care of your mom at home. There's nothing to lose. I went into that room and looked at those people. I told you not to do anything until I tell you to. And I also got that deal. That's what you need to do. When your lower self tells you what you can't do, you need to be your own driver. That is, you can't just talk to yourself. Rossi Day, you can't say that. Now you need to calm down. That mind deep inside won't hear that. You need to have a good talk with yourself. Hey, answer your own question too. Don't care about these people. You answer yourself. What are you going to do? I'm leaving to go there. Okay, that's fine. Take care of things inside. You need to talk to yourself and boost your confidence. Your energy will rise and everyone around you will notice. See, now if you live your life scared, other people can pick up on that fear. That's why you need to stand up inside. This makes me think of the little boy who was on a bus and wanted to get away from the bigger guys who were picking on him. In order to get away from them, he stood up after being hit on the head. They would push him down again and he would get back up. They pushed him back down and he got up. They then pushed him back down and held him down. He told her, "You can hold me down, but I'm standing up inside." That's how you do it right. When you're not doing the things you can, you're not living your best life. Look, we all have things that have been given to us, and I don't think it's our choice to sit on them. You see, if you're sitting on what you have been given, and I believe everyone has something to offer the world, then you are the only one who can do that, perform that, or start that action. And if you don't do that, if you don't fill your life with your life work or goal, then your life is unfinished. We start to fill in the blanks when we're not living out who we really are. We stuff the holes with trash, drugs, booze, worry, and actions that hurt ourselves. When you look at your life, you realize that you're not doing what you could be doing because you let your fears hold you back. Now, when you don't really like and accept yourself for who you are and let fear hold you back, you start to hurt yourself. You start to hurt your own life. You start to get in the way of your dreams. For no reason, you start to hurt yourself. You start to hate yourself. What are you going to do? For some reason, you start to understand how important your dream and skills are to you, until your need for them starts to make you forget about your fears. You will be driven by your strong desire to get them. When you work on yourself and accept who you really are, you start to understand the power you have to make things better and the miraculous ability you have to do the things you set out to do. It makes me think of a man the man in question was researching a certain African tribe, headhunters, and he had trouble growing him from getting close to these people because he was afraid. He thought they would cut off his head. I promise that not all thoughts are bad. That was a good reason to be afraid. That was a good fear to make you feel bad. That's why he worked there for a long time without putting in any effort or making any progress in building relationships or trust. He finally thought about it one night while he was in bed. I asked, "What are you here for? What do you do for a living as a missionary?" He told them, "I want to study these tribesmen." I asked, "What could go wrong? Kill you?" He then said, "Hey, this is what I came here to do. No matter what, I'm going to do it even though there is some risk." He said, "I'm no longer going to be afraid of." The next day, he went back and got to work. He tried to talk to and question many of the people in this trio, and they began to answer him. They made him feel welcome. People came to see his success years later and asked him, "How were you able to do this? How did you make the friendship better from the point where it was bad?" He also said something that I think we can all use. He asked, "What else is there when life can no longer threaten you with death? What else is there?" And most of the fears we have aren't about our lives or death. People don't really have those kinds of fears, but our imaginations make them bigger than they are and give them more power than they deserve. They run our lives, and we let them. We let them tell us how far we can go in following our dreams and finding our stuff. As we look at ourselves and say, wait a minute, getting straight to the point. As you judge yourself and start to prove yourself, stop and say, wait a minute. This has been making me sweat. What could go wrong with this? Is it going to kill me? Am I going to die? Why am I making so many changes because of this? How strong is this thing? What about me? Am I the one giving it power? There you have it. A lot of the time we let ourselves be fed and trained to be afraid. You'd be afraid to leave the house after reading the news and watching TV. Do I have it right? You would be scared. In other words, what kinds of things and thoughts are you giving your mind? What kinds of thoughts are you having that will help you move forward or back up your decision to stay where you are? I look at that piece again. I finally made up my mind to go to the doctor because the pain was too much to deal with any longer. The fear stopped being important all of a sudden. I have to take you now. You should know that some people need to be scared. We told a friend of mine, hey man, you know what? You need to lose some weight. You're getting fat and out of shape. People our age need to stick to a routine. Bud said, man, I've been fat since I was a kid. I have big bones, but you know, I've never seen a fat skeleton. Bud did get sick. How many of you have ever seen a fat skeleton like that? Okay, I get it. Then Bud got sick and passed out. I was there while the doctor talked to him, and I thought Bud was going to go back to his old ways of eating and doing things. They told him, look, you have diabetes. Now he said, these are some of the bad results. You might lose your sight. It is possible to lose a limb. That didn't affect him at all. He told her, you can lose your power. What did you say? Has dropped some weight. He works out every day. He's getting his body shaped. I am 48 years old. He looks great. I am shocked. That one sentence, though, made all the difference in the world. Bud is a different person now. What do you need to happen? Some people wait until they are told they are about to die before they do anything to improve their health. After that, they'll begin. I'm ready to do whatever you ask, but they won't. Around them, they can see people drop it off like flies. That's them. You have to leave something. We keep stumbling over ourselves in life. And fear is one of the best ways to keep us from reaching our full potential. Fear can either stop you from moving forward in your life, or it can be used as building blocks that help you say, hey, look here, I'm going to move in this direction. I'm going to do what I want to do no matter what. Say, I can't be stopped. And shake someone's hand on both sides. Because when you face your fear and still go forward, you do so with the spirit and knowledge that you can start to handle this, and that there is a way out there somewhere. There is a way out. What you want is to be able to deal with and face whatever comes up. And instead of being helpless, you start to feel strong. There are a lot of people who are biting their nails because they are afraid they might lose their jobs because of all the layoffs going on in this country. But there are some people who have already chosen, I'm going to make it. Not everyone is ready to be cut. Some people are going on their own because they believe in themselves and think, I have what it takes to make it. What makes them not scared of tomorrow is how they see themselves, what they believe they deserve, and what they believe they can make happen for themselves. Because these people have chosen that when they look at themselves and the future, there is a way. There is a way for me to start making a way out of nothing. And nothing can stop you if you have that kind of spirit and awareness. As we conclude, remember this. Accept yourself is more than just a phrase. It's a way of life. It's about giving yourself permission to be who you are, without apology or pretense. When you accept yourself, you free yourself from the chains of doubt and insecurity, and you open the door to endless possibilities. Today, make the commitment to accept yourself wholeheartedly. Embrace your journey, celebrate your progress, and be kind to yourself in moments of struggle. Remember that self-acceptance is the foundation of all personal growth and happiness. When you accept yourself, you radiate confidence, attract positivity, and inspire others to do the same. Thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Let's continue to support and uplift one another as we embrace our true selves. Believe in your worth, trust in your journey, and know that you are capable of achieving greatness. Accept yourself and watch as your life transforms in extraordinary ways. You have the power to create a beautiful, fulfilling life, starting with the acceptance of the incredible person you are.